she laughed like it understood the scene. Streetlights blurred through falling tears, or maybe that was me. I didn't run for cover, didn't try to hide the pain. I let it fall right through me. I'm still standing in the rain. They say storms don't last forever, but some don't move that fast. When love becomes a memory you didn't plan to have, I'm still standing in the rain where you said goodbye, soaked in every word you didn't even try. I'm still standing in the rain like I'm frozen in that night. You walked towards something brighter, I stayed under broken skies. The pavement still remembers the way you turned away, shadow disappearing every step you made. Cars pass like nothing happened, like hearts don't break in view. But I'm still in the same place where I lost you. I thought I'd move by morning, thought time would pull me through. But healing isn't sudden when it rains because of you. I'm still standing in the rain while the world moves on, trying to convince myself that I'll be strong. I'm still standing in the rain, not because I can't leave, but because part of me still hopes you'll turn back to me. Maybe one day the sky will clear, maybe I'll step inside, maybe I'll find the strength to let the storm subside. But right now this rain feels honest, it matches how I feel. Sometimes pain is the only proof that love was real. I'm still standing in the rain, but I'm not who I was before. The storm may soak my clothes, but it won't break me anymore. I'm still standing in the rain, and slowly I can see the clouds don't last forever, even when they're over me. The rain is falling softer now, or maybe I've just grown. I'm still standing in the rain, but I'm learning how to walk home. I wake up and you're not there, but something still remains. Not your touch, not your voice, just a quiet kind of pain. It doesn't scream, it doesn't cry, it doesn't ask for rest. It just settles in the hollow like a shadow in my chest. I thought losing you would shatter me, leave pieces on the floor, but this feels worse somehow, like something I can't ignore. There's a shadow in my chest where your light used to be, not dark enough to break me, just enough to follow me. There's a shadow in my chest, and it won't let me forget. supposed to. A smile on cue, but underneath the surface there's still a trace of you. It shows up in the silence, in the moments I'm alone, like an echo without a sound that never really goes. Time can blur memory, time can ease regret, but it can't erase the outline of what you meant. There's a shadow in my chest, not heavy, not sharp, just the outline of a love that left its mark. There's a shadow in my chest and I carry it around. It doesn't drag me under, it just weighs me down. Maybe one day it'll fade, maybe light will fill the space. Maybe I'll stop reaching for the shape of your face, but right now it's part of me, a quiet silhouette, proof that loving deeply leaves something you can't forget. There's a shadow in my chest and I'm learning how to breathe around the space you left behind, around what used to be. There's a shadow in my chest, but I'm still standing here. Some love doesn't disappear, it just turns into something you carry everywhere. It's not a wound, it's not a scar, just a shadow of who we were. My phone lit up in the dark, your name across the screen. I knew before I answered, this wasn't what it seemed. Your voice was softer than before, like you were half unsure, like you were calling just to hear if I was still yours. You said you didn't mean to wake me, said you just needed a friend, but we both know 2 a.m. is where old love pretends. It was the last call at 2 a.m. where everything felt real, where you said you missed my arms and I said I still feel. It was the last call at 2 a.m. where we almost tried again, but daylight makes things clearer than midnight ever can. You told me you'd been drinking, said you thought of me tonight, said nobody knows you like I did back when we were right. I almost said come over, almost crossed the line, but some doors close for a reason, even if they feel like mine. You sounded like the past and I sounded like regret, 2 voices in the dark, not ready to forget. It was the last call at 2 a.m. where the truth slipped out, where you said you weren't okay and I swallowed my doubt. It was the last call at 2 a.m. when we let silence stay, because we both knew morning would take the words away. If you'd does loneliness only whisper my name? I don't blame you for the moment or the way it felt so close, but some love survives the night only to vanish at dawn. It was the last call at 2 a.m. and I didn't answer again. Not because I stopped caring, but because I finally understood when some things only live in the dark. Some feelings don't withstand the light that shows why we ended. The phone stayed quiet tonight. No echo, no flame, just the memory of the last call at 2 a.m. You said you needed space, but you never said goodbye. You just slowly disappeared without explaining why. No final conversation, no clear line in the sand, just questions in the quiet slipping through my hands. I kept replaying every word, trying to decode how something once so certain turned into a known. I never got closure, no clean cut and no final truth to help me mend. I never got closure, just silence in reply. You left without a reason, and I'm still asking why. I saw you moving on, like it didn't cost a thing, while I was stuck in yesterday, still wearing your ring. People say just let it go, like it's easy to do. But how do you let go of something that never let go of you? I don't need a perfect ending, I don't need a fight. I just needed something real to hold on to that night. I never got closure, just half-finished lines, just memories that linger and unanswered signs. I never got closure, just a fading flame. It's hard to heal a wound without knowing who to blame. Maybe you were scared, maybe you didn't know how to end something gently without breaking me now. I don't need you to come back, I don't need you to explain. I just wish the ending had a shape instead of rain. I never got closure, and maybe I never will. Some love doesn't slam the door, it just stands there still. I never got closure, but I'm learning how to see. Sometimes the only ending is choosing to set yourself free. No last words, no final exposure, just a love that faded, and I never got closure. I used to feel everything, too much, too deep, too fast. Now I measure every heartbeat, like I'm scared it won't last. I used to fall without thinking, now I barely lean. Something shifted in my chest since you walked out of me. I didn't mean to build these walls, I didn't plan to freeze, but loving you so fully left something cold in me. Now there's a coldest part of me I don't let anyone see, where trust turns into distance before it reaches me. There's a coldest part of me that wasn't there before. It grew the night you closed the door. Like I still believe in forever and always, but I don't open up the same or keep my heart halfway. I don't call it bitterness, I call it being wise, but wisdom shouldn't feel like ice behind your eyes. I tell myself it's safer to never fall that deep, but safety feels like an emptiness I carry when I sleep. There's a coldest part of me where your name still lives, not in love, not in hate, just in what it did. There's a coldest part of me, and I don't know how to warm the place inside that doesn't trust love now. Maybe healing isn't fire, maybe it's just light, slowly melting pieces you froze that night. I don't wanna stay this way, guarded and alone, but pain has a way of turning hearts to stone. There's a coldest part of me, but it's not all I am. It's just the scar of you as much as I can. There's a coldest part of me, but I'm learning to see. Cold doesn't mean I'm broken, it just means I love deeply. Ooh. I'm not heartless, I'm not free. There's just a cold edge of me. You said it wasn't easy, but your eyes were calm and clear, like you'd already walked this road before you said it here. I was still counting on tomorrow, still believing we could grow. You didn't drift away by accident, you chose to let go. It wasn't distance, wasn't time, it wasn't something slow, it was the moment you decided you didn't want us anymore. You chose to let go, and that's what hurts the most. Not that love faded quietly, but that you made the choice. You chose to let go. Search your face for doubt, for something left to save. But peace had already settled in you, and I was still afraid. I don't blame you for your truth, I just didn't know that love can end so simply when someone chooses to go. You chose to let go, not out of spite or hate, but love doesn't need anger to change its state. You chose to let go, and I'm learning how to see. Sometimes loving someone means they don't choose you back equally. Maybe staying would have broken us, maybe leaving set you free, but knowing it was your decision still echoes in me. I can't accept the ending, I can't accept the pain, but choice feels different than drifting away. You chose to let go, and I'll stay the same. Still loving you quietly, still whispering your name. You chose to let go, and now I know you don't always lose someone. Sometimes they simply choose to let go. We were sunlight on the pavement, barefoot on the sand, laughing like forever was already in our hands. Long drives with the windows down, your hair in the wind. We didn't know that golden light wouldn't stay like that again. We thought warmth meant permanence, thought we never cool. Didn't see the seasons turning while we were breaking rules. We were fading like the summer, slowly day by day. Not in fire, not in anger, just in quiet shades. Fading like the summer, when the nights grow long, you don't feel it all at once. You just wake up and it's gone. The air got a little colder, but we said we were fine. We held on to the sunset while ignoring every sign. You started packing up your heart like leaves before the fall, and I kept chasing yesterday, trying to stop it all. Love doesn't always shatter, sometimes it just thins like heat that slips through open doors and never comes back in. We were fading like the summer, like light behind the trees, like laughter turning softer on a late September breeze. Fading like the summer, but we didn't know that something once so warm could cool so slow. to burn, only for a while. Some love lives in a season, not in a lifetime. I don't regret the sunshine or the way it felt so true. Even if the autumn came and took me far from you. We were fading like the summer, but we were real back then. Some warmth that's only meant to last until the season ends. Fading like the summer, and now I understand. Not every love is built to stay. Some are just a passing hand. The sun still rises every day, but it doesn't feel the same. We were beautiful and temporary, fading like the summer flame. We stopped asking how we felt, started saying I'm okay. Built a wall with careful words that kept the truth away. We'd sit across the table with nothing left to hide, but somehow all the honest things stayed buried deep inside. It wasn't loud, it wasn't cruel, it didn't crash or burn. It was the space between our voices where love forgot to turn. I lost you in the silence, not in anger, not in tears, but in the quiet, growing distance we ignored for years. I lost you in the silence, in the words we didn't say. You don't always lose someone when they walk away. We mastered small talk perfectly, avoided what was real. Said we'll talk about it later. Later never came to heal. You were right beside me, but already out of reach. Two hearts beating carefully, too afraid to speak. I thought peace meant safety, thought calm and we were fine. Didn't know the quiet was slowly drawing a line. I lost you in the silence, while pretending we were strong. We both felt something fading, but neither said it wrong. I lost you in the silence, and that's what hurts the most. Not that we didn't love, but that we stayed close. Maybe one brave conversation could have changed the end. Maybe honesty was all we needed back then. I don't blame you for leaving, I don't blame myself. Sometimes love disappears when it's left on a shelf. I lost you in the silence, and now I understand. Love needs more than presence, it needs a steady hand. I lost you in the silence, and I still hear it now. The quiet that we chose is louder somehow. No slam doors, no final defense, just two people and the space between. Your suitcase by the hallway light, like it had always been there. I tried to read your face, but you wouldn't let me stare. You said you needed space, like space could fix what's torn. I didn't know that sentence meant the night you closed the door. The air felt thick and fragile, like something about to fall. I thought we were just bending, I didn't know that was all. The night you closed the door, I felt the silence roar. Not in anger, not in blame, just in what we were before. The night you closed the door, something in me changed. You walked into the dark and I stayed in the same place. Your shadow stretched along the wall, then slowly disappeared. The sound of metal on the lock still rings inside my ears. I stood there in the quiet, like maybe you'd return, but love doesn't hesitate when someone's made their turn. I replay it in my memory, frame by frame, so slow. You didn't slam it hard, but it echoed more than you know. The night you closed the door, I lost more than your name. I lost the way I used to trust that love would stay the same. The night you closed the door, no storm, no shattered glass, just a future that went silent and a love that turned to past. Maybe we were breaking long before that night. Maybe the door just finished what we couldn't fight. I don't blame you for choosing what you felt was right, but some sounds don't fade away even with time. The night you closed the door, I didn't chase you down, I just listened to the echo as it filled the house with sound. The night you closed the door, I learned what endings are. Not loud, not cruel, just one small turn and a quiet lasting scar. The hallway's still the same, the floor, the frame, the floor, but nothing feels like it did before. The night you closed the door. I found a picture from last summer, back when we still believed in forever without question, in love without retreat. You looked at me like I was home, like nothing could go wrong. We didn't know how fragile even perfect things belong. Time has a way of changing what we thought was strong, but it doesn't erase where we once belonged. We were beautiful once, before the cracks began, before the distance grew between your heart and my hands. We were beautiful Love is meant for a season, not forever in one place. If I saw you on the street, I wouldn't turn away. I just remember who we were before we changed. Not every ending is a failure, not every goodbye is wrong. Some stories shine the brightest before they're gone. We were beautiful once, and that's enough for me, to know that what we had was real as it could be. We were beautiful once, and I won't pretend that just because it ended, it wasn't beautiful then. Time moves on, but I won't erase the way we loved, the light on your face. We were beautiful once.